Aruna, wondered when you stopped by. You look like a woman with questions. And you're in luck, kiddo. I might just have some answers.
Thank you, George. I gather you and Luther are old friends.
Partners in crime for longer than I care to remember. Opposite sides of the same old coin.
Funny, you strike me like you don't have a care in the world. As for Luther, I know he puts on an air of levity, but there's a deep sadness to him, like lingering smoke.
Now hold up there. I'm not in the habit of spilling another man's beans, and definitely not based on you sensing smoke, no matter how much I want to help you. Maybe there's another reason for what you're sensing.
Well, I don't know when he last washed that coat, but...
I don't either, but here's hoping he's caught in the rain sometime soon, eh? Luther, if not for that man, I'd be dead a dozen times over. That darkness, it might be the only way he keeps the pain in check. Pain like Luther's got, it'll never go away. So he uses it. It's what drives him to help people when he can, and fight those who'd unleash suffering on the world. It's why he'll never have a more loyal friend, or determined enemy. Or sometimes, both at once. Remind me to tell you the story of how he and I met sometime.
Let's have that story then.
Sure. How's that one go again? Right. This was back in 73? No, 74. Eventually, they called that particular bloodbath the Red River War. At the time, we just called it hell. I was on the Union side. The Indians, well, they had Luther.
Indian? I thought this was... right. You're saying Luther fought American soldiers?
It was a different army. And he was different then, too. The people that raised him were fighting to their last stand against enemies who would never stop coming, it turned out. I was part of the 9th Cavalry. We'd taken losses, they'd taken losses, the whole thing turned into chaos. Leastways, it sure seemed that way. Especially when I got separated from my regiment. I'd only just realized I was cut off when a stray shot, whose I couldn't say, they had long rifles themselves, went straight through my horse's neck. Next thing I know, I'm waking up next to a dead horse and a bloody tree stump with a bloody knot on my forehead. Don't know how long I was out, but the battle had moved on. I'd just gotten to my feet, had to make sure I could, when Luther found me. He'd been scouting our flank and his own horse threw him when a cannon spooked her. My rifle was under a ton of dead horse, but I managed to draw down on him just as his pistol cleared the holster. So we stood there, two bloody, muddy fools on a cold battlefield, moments away from ending each other's stories for good. Don't worry, a bunny rabbit stopped us, but that's a longer story. I gotta tell you, that Vincent sure knows how to stock a bar. You seen Luther around?
It couldn't have been pleasant, finding out about Reka like you did.
Reka's really been alive? All this time? I've been sleepwalking through the past 4 years for no reason.
Reason's got nothing to do with grief. Sometimes sleepwalking is the only way you can get anywhere. You couldn't have known.
What do you know? You weren't there when it happened. You didn't see her.
No. But you did. And I don't envy you the experience. But tell me, you ever wonder which would be worse? Seeing it happen? Or missing it entirely?
What are we discussing here, Luther?
You know me. You flapping my gums. What I mean to say is, I'm sorry it was such a shock. And I'm gonna help you however I can. So, How was visiting the old stomping grounds?
Like a hug and a cut from a knife at the same time.
Huh. Places are a bit like people that way. They hold on to bits of us just like we hold on to bits of them. Makes frequent travel sound a lot more appealing.
Yes, if I never stayed in one place long, I'd get to keep all my bits.
Don't take it from me. It's more the opposite. Any bits you don't get to keep get replaced by what you pick up along the way. Why do you think I'm at home wherever I am? I carry the places and people I've visited everywhere I go. All their bits.
Thank you for being honest with me about Reka being alive. You could have kept it a secret and manipulated me with a lie.
Ooh, Nelly. You said and done a lot of things to try and bruise my pride, Haruna, but that is the one that sticks. The death of family. Found family at that. That's not a piece of the chessboard to play somebody with.
Good to know. Blood relatives never featured in my life. But Reka is the closest thing I'll have to a mother.
Ah. Mothers are powerful figures, and daughters are their strange reflection. They could be nothing alike and still connected. Put them side by side, and it's like watching humanity evolve and change in real time.
That's profound, Luther.
I know my waters ain't exactly still, but they do run deep, you know?
I'll be seeing you.
You've been through a lot today, Haruna. Glad to have you back with us.
I'll be seeing you.
Ukra?
That's right.
May I? Should we have a look? Bloody hell.
Vincent's not much for understatement. What you did back at the temple, what was that?
Difficult to describe. It's like seeing events before they actually happen, and then making them real.
I've never seen anything like it. You have unique Umbric abilities. A real quester.
You're a quester.
I'm a student of secrets, but I will never see the fold. It's a limitation. You touch the fold. Feel it. My mother would call you Nganga. The healer coming to the other world. Like magic, I suppose.
You feel very magical.
Precisely. It's natural to you. Cogs and sprockets, books and diagrams. That is where I live. Ah, here we are. Speaking of, I have some reading to do. Excuse me.
Not sure why you'd want to include me in searching Vincent's office when you barely know me. It's kind of you.
Now I have a ledger and the cargo manifest because of your persuasive kicking foot. Research goes better with two.
Research? That's a funny word for snooping.
Academics have a lot of funny terms for questionable acts, I found. One of my favorites is, examination further would be captious beyond the scope of our research.
What does it mean?
Ooh, yikes. My education is part of who I am. I wouldn't trade it for anything, but I'm not in academia for a reason. It's tiring, talking to men who are determined to use 10 syllables when 3 will do. It's that impenetrable academic vernacular that creates a barrier to knowledge, instead of disseminating it.
Instead of, what?
Oh, I'm sorry, it means...
I know what it means, don't worry. Can't believe I got you.
Haruna, we're coming up on Sintra. Meet me in the bridge.
To hear Luther tell it, you two share a love of knowledge.
It's true. We both want life to open its secrets to us, to understand the warp and weft of the world itself. And I suspect we want it for the same reason. We are missing some pieces.
Nah, I describe Luther as a few cards short of a full deck, but I wouldn't say that of you.
I don't mean we're mad. We lost people. Luther won't tell me who he lost, but I can see his hidden empty place of grief. I've had mine long enough. I saw it in you too, you know? Before Luther
told me Reka isn't actually dead, and made my last 4 years of grief a joke.
Yes, I don't envy you the shock, of course, but I do envy you having the chance to speak to your mother again. I'd have done anything for that.
Do you know, Reka isn't my mother, right?
Right. You're going to war against a splinter cell of a secret society to avenge an acquaintance. Sure.
Haruna, what's the holdup?
How did
you... need it in the bridge.
Get through it after your mother passed?
You don't? Sorry. I know you're asking about me because you're too proud to ask for yourself, but you should know grief never goes away. There will always be jokes you want to tell them, habits you have to break, the pain and indignation of losing something that made you, you.
Sounds lovely.
I was only loss and pain, Haruna. Grief was as big as the world. But even so, I made my life bigger than grief. A death never leaves you, but if you build enough, your life can overtake it in size, holding it in place, like the balloon covering the morning star. I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to ask me questions. We're all here because we're nosy after all. I like talking with you, Haruna. Let's continue again soon.
I'll be seeing you.
Haruna to the bridge. Repeat, Haruna to the bridge. You're holding up the whole operation.
So, the mysterious quester finally decides to pay a visit to the ship's engineer. I'm Mara. I take care of this stuff.
I'm Haruna. It's nice to properly meet you, Mara. You strike me as quite young to be the engineer of the entire ship.
You strike me as quite foolish to go toe-to-toe with Vincent.
This one's locked.
Listen, Haruna. Seeing Vincent and everyone, that was the first time since the divide I'd been that close to him. I'm not saying I want to be particular friends, just...
I understand. He scares you too, doesn't he?
Of course he scares me. And he should scare you too, more than he does. The day of the divide. I was only 12. But I'll never forget what his face looked like when he...
It's all right, Mona. I was there. For some of it, at least. I remember what happened to Rekka. And how Vincent...
No, not that. Not that. Later, when he demanded my mother join him. Join the Ascendants. It wasn't even anger. When he realized she couldn't be convinced, it was like we weren't even people to him anymore. I looked up at him, and no kindness, no compassion, no humanity. All he cared about was the fold and whatever he found in there. I hope he gets lost there and never comes out. Hey, you want to get me in trouble? I've got work to do. Don't you have anywhere else to be?
If we come in low, along this line, the ridge should hide our approach.
That's a good hike from the Quinta.
Any closer and we risk detection.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Ah, Haruna. I'd like to introduce you to Fortunato, mapmaker extraordinaire and our designated navigator. That tall order over there is our pilot, Astrid. You can thank her for losing our Ascendant friends.
Pleased to meet you.
Piacere.
Good to meet you, Haruna.
We're coming in on Sintra. I'll be heading down to the landing platform in a few.
So, tell me, Haruna, how are you adapting to your new surroundings?
Well, the Morning Star is certainly impressive. I've never been aboard anything like it.
Her. Anything like her. Our sea may be the sky, but the Morning Star's still a ship, and every inch a lady. Now listen, please. I want to go over some basic rules for passengers on my ship. And make no mistake, you may be a quester, and you may be helping out, but you are not truly part of this crew. Not until I say you are. Understand. Nothing I am about to say is to be taken personally. It is not your fault that when it comes to airships, you are almost certainly inept at best, dangerous at worst.
Why would I take that personally?
First, you never ever touch these controls. You are not qualified. You are not rated. You are not welcome to twist a single knob or even flip one switch unless I tell you to. Second, Mara, my daughter, is old enough to make her own friends. But if I ever learn Mara has forsaken her future to follow you or anyone else around the globe on some ground-pounding wild moose chase, I will stop you.
Trust me, Captain. Asking anyone else to take on this life? I would never. I don't regret my choices, but they were my own. And Captain, you do know it's goose, yes? A wild goose chase?
Not where I come from. The Morning Star is quite special, you know. Most airships all look the same and fly like slugs.
Why is it... she... different?
It's not just her looks. It's her guts, her keel, her ribs. The overpowered engines, the lightweight frame made of alloys the rest of the world won't know about for decades. And she can really move. We exceeded 110 miles per hour during our escape and sustained it for several minutes before the engines threatened to overheat. That's very fast. Faster than the British Warzeps we flew over China during that Boxer business.
Sorry, British Warzeps?
Zeppelins. Rigid airships, but primitive compared to the Star. Made for war by the British. If not for them, I'd never have met 40. Fortunato. The Royal Sky Navy was in its infancy, and only running secret missions under cover of night. Even the most rigid airship isn't bulletproof. Norway wasn't about to field such a force. So I went where the action was, flying for the Brits alongside an international rogues gallery of pilots from all over Europe. Though I was the only Norwegian, to my knowledge. Fortunato was flying with a reckless Spaniard who got himself killed. Almost took 40 with him. I saw their Zepp go down, and coordinated a rescue in the middle of a dogfight. But we got him out. You're not exactly what I expected, Haruna. And that's good, because frankly, I didn't expect much. But if you'll excuse me, this ship won't make port by herself. It was nice meeting you, Haruna.
Ah, there you are. Everyone on a ship can have an effect on her course, and the smallest shift in weight can require a course correction. A navigator must know of everyone on board, the way the conductor of an orchestra must be aware of every instrument, and when they are to play.
All right. And?
So, I wanted to get a look at you. I'm not judging your fashion sense. I just wanted to eyeball your weight. Ah, out of context, I can hear how that sounded awkward.
Hello, Fortunato.
Welcome aboard the Morning Star, Haruna. You'll soon find the crew is the orchestra, and our quest is a symphony. It will be intriguing to see how the notes you bring will add to our harmony.
I'll do my best to stay in tune, Maestro.
Do you enjoy the arts, Haruna? Does a questor have time to do anything as simple and enjoyable as attending the opera, for example?
I admit it's not something I've given much thought. There isn't a lot of time for such things. I saw a moving picture once, in Cairo.
Have you ever heard the Great Caruso?
Is that a piece of chamber music? It doesn't sound familiar.
The Great Caruso is not an it, he is a him. The greatest tenor who ever lived.
I'm afraid I don't usually have time to attend the opera. No, that's not true. I never have time to attend the opera.
You must make time. There is no human endeavor as meaningful as music, and no music as purely beautiful, moving, and alive as the opera. And, as luck would have it, Vincent was also a lover of music. Life is a symphony, Haruna. Enjoy the music.
All right, let's get to it. All right, Bukra. We're near the manor. You be ready. We may need a quick ticket out of here.
I should have no trouble tracking you, so long as you have your radios. According to the manifest, Reika was held in the mansion. Security will be tight. I suggest avoiding the front door.
You figure? I spent more than a few years studying here. I reckon I know just about every last servant's entrance this man has got. Just follow me. I'll get us... Hey! Hey! There's no way I'm squeezing through there.
No?
This is gonna be a regular thing with you, isn't it?
Haruna, did you walk out on Luther?
I can cover more ground this way.
Are you crazy? He knows the grounds.
Look, believe it or not, I've done this kind of thing before. I fare much better on my own. Haruna out.
Just get Matos's journal. He knows what Vincent's up to and where Reika could be. This could be over quietly.
Haruna out. Can't risk them giving away my position.
Just me, eh? Should have known. They won't get away again. What the hell is going on?
Got to keep moving.
Huh? Must have been...
I feel a strong convergence in the patterns around this object. A clue, perhaps.
Are you certain your machines can contain her? Matos?
Apologies, Vincent. I haven't been quite myself of late.
You've been spending too much time in that capsule. It's taking its toll on your mind.
Have we had this conversation before? Or perhaps we will have it when... Is this... now?
Could be something of interest. What is that sound?
We have just received word the transports have started rolling in.
Good. Pack all essentials and make sure the doors and windows are all secure. Doesn't look like we'll be back here for a good while.
On the top floor?
Same goes for our former guests' accommodations. And do be extra careful with the instruments up there.
Got it.
Former guest. Breaker. Looks like we're headed for the top floor. prove useful. Bukra, I'm heading for the second floor. I believe it's where they're holding Reka.
Good thinking. It's a good place to look. And keep your radio on this time,
Will do. Haruna out.
What's out there anyway? Hearing things, not hearing things. Oh boy, when I find
Sound again. Probably nothing. So many locations across the globe.
real shame about
I wouldn't want to have his nightmares. Could be something of interest. There's a strange familiarity to these paintings.
real shame about Ramirez.
Careful with that, you two.
This isn't our first job, Mahia.
What exactly is this thing?
Tethering capsule. We need to prep it for shipping.
Didn't we already ship Matos's tethering device to the dig site?
This is an early prototype. Not even sure it works properly.
Then why go through all the trouble?
It's headed for Vincent's office in Vienna. Has some kind of sentimental value.
Haruna, Luther's located Dr. Matos.
Matos is here.
You hear that?
Luther's tailing him, but there's a lot of movement around the doctor. He could use your help.
On it.
Okay. I'll have to get back to...
Intruder!
All of them. This scarf.
Humanity has lived
belongs
for
to
eons at the mercy of the Nine, and it has always led to the same place.
But we learn. With each turning, we get closer to breaking the cycles.
By what metric? Look around. This world is turning black with rot, and we've no reason to believe we are any nearer to salvation. And where are the Nine? Hiding away, whispering to themselves, we'll get it next time. We are, all of us, running out of time, aren't we, Reika? It's time we took control of our own destiny.
Bukra, I might have found something of interest.
Describe it?
Twin metal capsules connected with complex machinery. One ascendant called it a tethering device. Bukra?
I think Matos might have found a way of tethering Vincent's shade to Rekas.
What does that mean?
Vincent is obsessed with unleashing Session. The trouble is he can't quite reach it. He's a good diver.
But not as good as Reka.
Precisely. Matos' device solves his problem.
I hate to cut in, but I'm staring at the man himself.
Wait. That sound again.
What sound?
A strange hum. I thought...
What happened?
I just had an encounter with one of Matos' technical marvels.
Describe...
I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to hear all about it, but the good doctor won't wait. I suggest you come and join me. Where are you exactly?
The mansion. Top floor.
Huge room? Full of books?
Exactly.
Matos' old office. Look for a passage behind one of the bookshelves.
How do you know this?
I told you. Spent years working here. I know this place inside out.
Be sure to give the place a good once through before heading out.
Nothing. The footholds in that wall could support my weight. Matos is clearly a genius. Matos' workshop. These shackles are woven into Reka's pattern. She was held here.
You think I'm a monster?
I think you're a child. Naive and wounded. Looking for some shiny bauble to make you feel better.
You mean to tell me that a woman of your abilities can't see the shadows looming?
Might prove useful.
You can't smell the blood in the streets? Or hear the grinding of the war machines? You can't, can you? Oh, Reika. You need Sessions' help more than anyone.
That's him. Dr. Emilio Matos.
My journal. That's where they find it.
It's all right, Dr. Matos. We'll come back for the book.
Matos is getting away.
Don't worry. I know where they're headed. But I need his journal. He's likely to have my hide.
I'd rather have his journal than your hide.
There she is. My very own guardian angel. Let's give these fellas some dancing lessons.
Stop messing around. Get her before she comes to.
The world ain't saving itself. Day.
Just get the book. I need to get into Matos' head.
I wouldn't recommend it.
The good doctor does seem a bit more offbeat than his usual self.
Matos has always been a trailblazer of fold exploration. It's no surprise trailblazing left him burnt.
Are you suggesting that the Fold made Matos lose his mind?
The Fold is a strange place. Time and space don't apply there. At least not as they do in this dimension.
It's not so much the fold drives you crazy. It just shows you what reality looks like behind the curtains. That can be hard to come back from.
What if we hear? Got it.
Keep it safe. It should prove very useful.
Damn it. We got company.
Search the area. I want whoever did this found.
Looks like the main road is no longer an option.
There's a gate nearby that leads to an old garden. Cuts right through the property. Now that we got his journal, we should get right back on Matos's trail.
Do you persevere?
First, I thought it was...
Trouble to your left.
She's gone! Ow! Nobody's getting past me.
See any trouble?
This is not over.
Did I?
Come on, we gotta keep moving. They were just standing around by incendiaries.
It was all too easy.
Let's go. We don't need to follow the truck. I've got an inkling where they're going, and I know a shortcut.
There is a strange familiarity to this place.
You're more right than you think. Centuries ago, the Matos clan led expeditions across the seas. Much of this flora was brought back from those voyages, including from where you might have grown up.
They were explorers or colonizers?
Questers, more focused on the collection and sharing. Village. The Quinta Matos is an homage to those places and the people they visited. The idea here was to commune with the natural beauty of the world, be shaped rather than shaped.
You seem to admire the Matos clan, but not the man himself.
Look, I'm not denying the doctor's brilliant. Hell, he's on another level.
But
he chose the Ascendants. The worst thing is, he's not even a misguided believer like me. He knows Vincent's wrong, and he's still chosen. For what?
to get what he wanted, forsaking everyone else.
That's what I can't forgive. All right.
This coin belongs to the Leap Year Society.
There goes Matos.
Any chance we can avoid trouble down there?
Not this time. We need to go through that checkpoint. And there's no chance in hell we won't be spotted.
Keep it together.
sequesters controlling. What was that? Stop that! What? What's here? You should have run!
God damn it. Alarms triggered a lockdown. The gate won't open.
Get ready. There. Luther? And just when I was starting to trust you.
Busters aren't so tough. Slow, mister.
My hands on that cowboy.
Something is not right.
Come on. What are you waiting for? Well, let's go.
You went back for the truck?
Seemed like the thing to do. Wait, you figured I hightailed it out of here? Gotta sort out those trust issues.
I turned. You were gone. What did you expect?
I was setting myself up for my memorable entrance. What else? Onwards. There's Matos's truck. We can catch up with him through that gate.
Somebody, whoa, hey, what's that? That's no accident.
Stop that! God, Jesus Christ!
I know she's here.
There is.
You ready?
I'd prove you so.